just everything ended well. So, today, I'm going to show where all the treasures are. Where all the treasures are in the game. Although there are 61 treasures, only 60 are required to unlock the final thing, the Master Fortune Hunter medal. The only reason being is how it's because the strange relic is considered its own unique thing. So, let us begin. Now, there are no treasures at the beginning of the game at Ambush. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4... Yeah, only 5 levels do not have any treasures whatsoever. So, there are 6 treasures here with the second chapter, the Search for El Dorado. The first one, at the beginning here, follow the stream up ahead. Where is it? Was it? Yeah, follow the stream. Stick to the left side. Oh yeah, it's gonna tell me how to tutorial and everything. Stick to the stream. Yeah. Follow the stream until you get up to, I think, around here. Oh, no, hold on. Oh, I see it. I saw it glisten. There it is. And there's your first treasure. You can find the... The next treasure you can find is in this area. To get it, you need to start climbing. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Nah, it's older than that. Like 2,000 years older.
This is where Elena would park, but yet, when you get here, yeah, all of this foliage, like, blocks off the path. Anyway, so the second treasure is in this area here. You just gotta do your climbing for it.
Find anything?
Nothing yet.
Be careful up there.
Now, the treasure is off to the left side here.
There's something funny about the ground down there.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that, I know that. Just get on this pillar and it should be... Yep. And there's your second treasure you can find. The next treasure you can find is within this area, I believe. It should...
Quite a drop.
It is.
You're not kidding.
Yeah, where is it? Oh, there it is. I
Gotta
see
find
it.
a way across.
Gotta be really careful to get it. And there you go. The next treasure is in this part. There's a little...
I'm really wet.
There's a little nook around here. Yep. And there it is. The next treasure is in this area. After the cutscene where El Dorado is not where it's supposed to be, look around. There should be a skeleton. Oh, I know. It's right here. Yep. Around here, there's a skeleton that has this treasure. And also, the next treasure is not far from here. Be sure to follow the tracks.
Huh. They stop here. Yeah.
And then, after you get out here, just jump from the pillars here. And then, there it is. And that is all the treasures, these first 6 treasures that you can find in Chapter 2. There are 2 treasures here in Chapter 3 on a surprising find. The first one you can find as you're climbing to get to the U-boat. When you get up here, shimmy over here, and you'll find a treasure on this little cliff area. The next treasure you can get on Chapter 3 is pretty much right up here at the tip of the U-boat. And after that, that is it. That is all the chapters you can find, chapters. That is all the treasures you can find here on Chapter 3. Chapter 4 has 10 treasures. The largest amount in the whole game here. The first one you can find is literally behind you as you start the chapter. It should be, yep, it's right over here. The next treasure is also in this area where this waterfall is. It's off to the left here. And looky there, once you pick up this treasure, you found yourself 10 treasures. Well done. The next treasure is up in here. If you drop to this area off to the side here, you can find it within this little pool. Somewhere. Where are you? Actually, I think it's up about here. Yeah, there it is. The next treasure is in this shootout area. I must have missed this during the playthrough, but after you get through this shootout area, climb up to this part after you climb up the pillars. Instead of going that way, go this way, and you'll find the treasure off to the side here. The next treasure's in this area. When you climb up to this, instead of jumping across, jump over here and check the left side, and there it is. The next treasure's in this area. Once you get done with the pirates in this spot, check the left, and there's this big tree here. Around the base of the tree, the treasure should be over here. The next treasure is here, after the part with the waterfall. Go down the pit here and check the right side, and it's over here. And after you get that, looky there, you got 15 treasures. The next treasure is in this area with the hog wild. Oh, whoops. After the doorway here gets blasted open, check behind it. There it is. The next treasure is in this part. After you get through all the climbing, but before you move on into the area where all those death traps are, head off to here, and it's underneath this rock. The next treasure is in this area. Once you get done with the firefight, and regardless if you've triggered all the traps or not, be sure to head off to the right here. I should say, this... Yeah, no, never mind. Next treasure, get through the death traps and just go up this bit, and it's right here. And that is all the treasures in Chapter 4. Well done. You found all 10. The Fortress, Chapter 5, has only 4 treasures in it. The first of them, get through the firefight with the enemies here, and once you do, get on top of this. Get on top of this. Got it. And what you do, just look over there, and there you find the strange relic. And because of it being unique, you get a medal point out of it on itself, and an achievement, due to its uniqueness. The next treasure is also in this area as well. If you can get over this rubble. Once you get over this rubble, check inside this tower, and you will find it. And looky there, you got 20 treasures. You're doing excellent. The next treasure is actually over here. Climb by this rubble, and it's right here in this corner. The final treasure for for the fortress is in this tunnel where the machine gun guy is. Come up to this one area here, up to this small area. There's a pirate in here as well. I missed going in here during the playthrough, but go to the left corner and there's your treasure. And as I said, that is all the treasures on chapter 5. There are only 4 treasures here on chapter 6, Unlocking the Past. The first one can be found in this area once you get done with the gunfight. Somewhere where these big trees are, this one and another one, there is a treasure hidden among the trees. Is it in here? No. It's somewhere here. Oh, there it is. The next treasure is in this part. Regardless or not if you've killed off all the enemies, head to this area where this tree is. Just climb on the rubble and you'll find the treasure up here. The next treasure is after you get done with the gunfight, going through the hallway and taking care of the pirates up with the sentry gun, you'll be in this little room. Check behind here near the staircase. And now you got yourself 25 treasures. The next treasure is in this part. Once you get into this area where it overlooks the courtyard here, you got to climb up this area and continue there. But if you take a moment to jump on this platform and get by all this rubble and foliage and get to the corner of it, you will find the treasure. And that is all the treasure that can be found in chapter 6. There are no treasures in chapter 7, but here in chapter 8, the Drowned City, there are only 2 treasures. The first of them... Hold on. The first of them you can find right as you start here. Regardless if you've taken out all the pirates or not, check the left side over here and it's right here. The next treasure you can find is when you get off the jet ski and you get to this part of the combat, in the ruins up here, head to this dark shadowed area and you'll find it nestled here. And that is all the treasures in chapter 8. There are only 2 treasures here in chapter 9 to the tower. The first one is before you enter the tower. It's right off to the left here. The next treasure here in chapter 9 is when you get here to the entrance of the tower. You can pick it up before or after you let Elena in the tower, but it's right off over here. And that is all the chapters, or that is all the treasures in chapter 9. And you got 30 treasures. You're halfway there. There is only one treasure in chapter 10 of the customs house. Once you get done with the cutscene where... Okay, I'm gonna unplug that so we can stop doing that. Once you get through the cutscene where Drake and Elena go over the cargo records and you take care of all the pirates in here, go up the stairs and it's right here in the corner. And that is all the treasures in chapter 10. There are only 3 treasures in chapter 11 trapped. The first one, shortly when you reunite with Elena, and after the cutscene where the boat that they were going to use to escape is taken away. Once you get done with the firefight with the enemies up here, take the right side of the stairs, and once you get up to this broken room, just look over here in the corner. The next treasure can be found after the cutscene crossing the bridge. Once you get to the other side, come down the stairs here and head over to where this plant and rubble is, and there it is. The next treasure is once you get through the room and enter the small cavern here, just check behind these crates. And that is all the treasures in chapter 11. There are no treasures in chapter 12, but there are 7 in chapter 13. The first of them is, once you disembark from the jet ski, there's this water wheel here. The treasure is roughly around it. Oh, there we go. It's right here. Alrighty. And you got 35 treasures. The next treasure is in this area. After the cutscene where Drake and Elena discover the corpse on the spike trap made from the parts of the plane, on the staircase here, look underneath it. For the next treasure, when you get through the courtyard battle, you have to blow up these kegs to let Elena through. Regardless if you choose to let her in right now or not, the treasure is just off in this little room here in the corner. The next treasure is found here within this huge courtyard plaza where the library is. Once you get through, once you let Elena in and she opens the door and you two get through, head off to the right here and just go a little bit here and into the corner. Here's your treasure. The next treasure is also in the same area as the previous one. Just head to the cathedral here and then head to the right, and it's off near this rubble. Yet another treasure can also be found within the plaza as well. Head to this tunnel here. And once you get to the end of it, check the left, I believe, and yes, in the corner. is your next treasure. Yes. From here on out, the next several treasures I get, every 5 treasures I get till I hit 60, that's what it is for me. I've never gotten them all in any way or form. So, yeah. Moving on. The final treasure can be found in this room after doing the puzzle involving the statues. The treasure is just down here. And that is all the treasures of Chapter 13. There are 6 treasures here in Chapter 14. The first one can be found just at the start here. When you get to the bottom of the stairs, check your right. And then, yeah, I noticed it. It's right here. The next treasure is in this room. Once you get to here, instead of going up the stairs, head to the water. And you'll find the treasure within this waterfall. Spooky. The next treasure can be found as soon as you emerge from the underground. It's right here behind you. The next treasure can be found after you deal with the firefight in the cathedral and solve the bell puzzle. Once you climb down the ladder, it'll be behind this sarcophagus. And look, I got 45. For the next treasure, after you view the cutscene with Roman and Navarro dismissing Eddie, once you leave the room and you get down the stairs here, check off to the side of the staircase. The next treasure is found here, which is pretty much near the end of the chapter. When you get near this door that needs to be opened by this winch, check off to the left to this little nook here. And that is all the treasures here. All the treasures in chapter 14. There are 6 treasures here on chapter 15, on the trail to treasure. The first one is out here. Once you exit the cathedral, instead of going to the stairs over there, head down here to this grassy area. Hold on. I just want to look. Alright, so, the treasure is near the stairs you came down. It's just right over here, hidden within the grass. The next treasure can be found when you're up here again. Up here from before. Once you take care of the first group of mercenaries, instead of going straight here, take a left. And you could find the treasure here nestled in the corner. The next treasure is in here when you re-enter the cathedral. When you take out the 2 mercenaries, enter this room here. $50 treasures. You're only 10 away. For the next treasure, after you've carefully done your climbing about to open up the cathedral window here, instead of going to the one with the keys there to trigger the cutscene, head off to the right and you can find the next treasure here. The next treasure is outside of the cathedral. After the cutscene where Drake discovers the treasure vault's location, and when you're out here to the huge pit in the ground, which, as we know, El Dorado is beneath there. And if you've taken out all the mercenaries or not, head on down some and step behind this thing. Between this thing and to climb up is the next treasure. Yet another spooky treasure. The next treasure is found roughly in the same area, actually. This is where you found the previous one. For the next one, make sure you take out the remaining mercenaries first. You just come up to this upper section here, and behind this tombstone is the next treasure. And that is all the treasures on Chapter 15. There are only 3 treasures on Chapter 16. The first one, when you get to the treasure vault here with the numbers. Here's how it works. The first number you'll find is 5. Follow 5. Ignore number 2 here. Then, go up to where number 4 is pointing. From there, just keep following the path onwards and upwards until you get up to this section, and it will be right here. The next treasure is in this part. When you reach the lantern here, and where these 2 lanterns are, over there is the treasure. It's on that drawbridge. You gotta make a very careful jump to reach it. Of course, I say careful, but that looked easy, but you gotta be careful still. Looky there. 55 treasures. We're almost there. Now, I need to get back carefully. The next treasure you can get here is during the part where Eddie's pirates are attacking you. When you go up this spiral staircase, and once you make sure any pirates are dealt with, there is a treasure down there. Just vault over carefully. Actually, I can't reach that doing that. I said vault over carefully, but what you gotta do really is you gotta jump over there carefully. And there. And that is all the treasures on Chapter 16. There are no treasures in Chapter 17, but here on Chapter 18, there's only one treasure. That one treasure is during this part with the Descendants bit. Let me see if I can explain this as... Oh, hold on. Let's hope no more show up for a moment. When you come out through there, and you start making your way through here, when you get to this first intersection here, take a right. You'll encounter more Descendants along the way, but take a right until you reach the end here. And then on the left, the treasure is within this rubble. And that is all the treasures in Chapter 18. There is only one treasure here in Chapter 19. As for where it's at, when you get to this part where you fight both the mercenaries and the descendants, it's over there on that stack of crates. Just try to jump from that stack to this, and then make another jump, and there you have it. That's all the treasures on chapter 19, and this is really well made. Nice. And only two, well, technically three. Only 3 left to go. Which, speaking of, the next treasure can be found almost immediately at the start of the next chapter. I don't need to worry about that. Oh, why am I wasting my ammo? I could just climb over here.
Sully, are you there? Damn it! Sully, come in!
Oh, thank God, Nate. Where are you?
Heading your way. They've got Elena. We have to stop them.
Yeah, got problems of my own. Bastards have me pinned down outside the church.
Almost there.
Okay, there's only one treasure here on chapter 20, Race to the Rescue. When you start here and after you climb out, it's round here behind you. Should be, yep, in this corner. Okay, and that is all the treasures here on chapter 20. And I will see you guys in the next chapter. There are only 2 treasures here on chapter 21. The first of them is over here, near the large sarcophagi. And I got 60 treasures. There's my achievement of something that I've never been able to do in 10 so years. The last treasure that you can pick up to get the full 61 of the treasures, which unfortunately should give you a better reward and achievement, is when you go downstairs here after the previous one. Nope, not there. Check behind this pillar. And there it is. And that is all the treasures in chapter 21 and all the treasures in the game. Now, I will meet you guys back at the main menu. Well, everyone, I'm back. I told you I'd see you back at the menu, and yeah, we are here. Let's look at our treasures first. From our first one to the end. You can always examine them and just see the finer details on them. And yes, certain treasures like this cup have fine interior detail as well. I'm at least happy that these little figurines are kind enough to censor their breast. Even if they weren't censoring their own breast, I wouldn't censor them anyway. Because it's natural. I think this one was our 10th treasure. It makes me wonder that when they were creating these treasures and designing them, I wonder if they actually made or found, or not so much as made or found, but they made these as models, or they actually went to South America and whatever to look at the actual items that these artifacts are based off of, and like just to get a feel for all those fine details with it, you know, like the way the metal is old and not exactly rusted, but you could see the age on it. I find it hard to believe that this is meant to be a toothpick. Our good friend, the strange relic. That's not how they rotate. They rotate this way, I think. And yes, it does have a top and a bottom. You never see the top or bottom of these things. You only see it from the side. It's got a nice design on it. This was number 22, so we're a little halfway there. The mask, which, yep, it does have an interior. Too bad there's no eye holes on that mask. You can't call it a mask if you can't see through it. A silver version of the Spanish coin. Wonder if I can get it to position right. You're not as fancy as your gold brother because you lack the weird headdress. Man, I wonder how much these treasures would be worth today. I mean, they're made out of genuine, you know, gold and silver. Okay, this is silver, but this was clearly not made by the Incans. It had to have been from the Spanish, because I can't imagine the Incans having belts. And here, if I can position it just right, I can't get it to position right, but this is practically the loading screen symbol. I mean, I might be able to get it right if I just... Why am I wasting my time just trying to match the... Yeah, and it spins this way. Well, I mean, it's tilted, but this is practically the loading screen logo. It's the same gold coin. A komari, to those who do not know, is basically a species of raccoon in South America. I mean, I call them South American raccoons, but I don't think they are, like, true raccoons. They're just essentially, like, a distant relative, I guess you could say. I mean, I might be wrong. Not afraid to admit when I've been wrong. Now we're getting to stuff that is clearly not Incan. Not quite the all... It's not quite the almighty chalice of souls, but it comes close. That rotates nicely. Now, there's a Halloween decoration if I ever saw one. Your standard snuff box. It's where you put your snuff in it. Your nicotine. I don't get why they call it a silver ingot when it's got markings on it. You don't mark an ingot. Hey, that's the Naughty Dog paw print. You naughty dogs. We're getting there. This is probably one of my favorites, just because of how unique it is. It's one of the few unique of its kind. There's that Naughty Dog symbol again. And last but not least, or should I say the second to not last but not least. And lastly, last but not least. And that is all the treasures, my friend. Or should I say my friends? So, that will do for this episode of Uncharted Drake's Fortune. Join me next time as I show off some of the bonus content stuff. I'll show off, the concept galleries, I'll show off some of the stuff you can do in-game, and I'll talk about the game's development and other good stuff like that. So that is it, and I will see you guys next time.